So Brad Gray kindly joins us to talk about some of those feature races and some of the best bets. Brad, good morning. The Villiers, what did you like there?
Yeah, good morning, Jason. It's an interesting race, the Villiers, this year, as it always is. It's those second kind of tier horses, and as we know, this is a race that carries Doncaster exemption, so a few of these trying to get in via the back door. The one that's been really well backed is Skyboy. He's a horse we've seen plenty of this preparation. He's deep into a campaign. He's won 4 on the trot. I guess the query with him is coming back to the mile off a couple of 2,000-metre runs. This has always been in the plan. But that was a pretty hard run, 1,800 metres last start. So whether he's fresh enough to tackle 1,600 metres over Randwick, I guess we'll see. The wet track probably does help him somewhat to that extent. The horse that I'm keen on, though, is Doubt Defying, the 9. Now, he's a Queenslander. He's been all over the place recently. So this preparation, he kicked off at Randwick over 1,400 metres and was a really strong winner. Importantly, that was on a heavy track. And as we know, Randwick is a particularly deep kind of heavy track. So he handled that no dramas. We're a soft 7 at the moment at Randwick, but there is a little bit of rain forecast for later, so we might get a little bit worse. Then went down to Melbourne. He won the Sale Cup and then ran admirably in the Group 1 McKinnon. So coming back off that, it's Group 1 form. He's going to be hard to beat here. He maps to get the right kind of run from 3. I imagine Fabrizio rolls along out in front and he'll just tag that speed. So each way odds about Doubt Defying is the way that I'll be playing the race.
Seems to come in reasonably well at 55.5. Michael Walker, the retained rider these days for Aquis Farm, retains the ride, having won it a couple of starts ago. Vision that we saw there was with Tim Clark in the saddle. How about... oh, there we go. We've got $3 for Skyboy, $9.50 for Sambro, and Doubt Defying there at $8. Having a look at race number 6 here, Brad, and the horse that's been a massive money maker, Cradle Mountain. Can this horse continue and make it 7 from 10?
Yeah, you'd like to think so, wouldn't you? Claire Cunningham's just got a very smart sprinter on her hands. You spoke about money. This bloke didn't cost very much, $4,000. So you'd love to be able to fork out $4,000 and get a horse of this quality. He's a 5-year-old. It's a very lightly raced, but he's won 6 of his 9 starts. It's well documented that miss at Scone there where he ran 9th. He did a pretty bad hamstring injury, so he's been nursed back to health. He's won 2 on the bounce this time in, pretty dominantly. The replay we're watching there is Rose Hill last start, and if anything, he was probably a little bit too well rated. I know that's a bit of a strange criticism on someone like Karen McAvoy, but it was his first ride on the horse. Jason Collett gets back on, and this horse's asset is his cruising speed. So 53 kilos on his back. We know he can do it at both ends. He can burn the candle both ends and still rip home in a good sectional, and he's always been able to run time. So, yes, he's tackling listed company for the first time, but on times and margins, it says he'll measure right up here, and as the market does suggest, to $1.90. That's probably about his right price, despite going up in grade. The other interesting runner is Deploy. He's a very classy animal. 61 kilos, though, so whether he can give a horse like Cradle Mountain 8 kilos, the up-and-comer, I doubt that, but he's certainly too honest to rule out. And his first up run was good enough, just blowing out the pipes off a bit of a break himself. Heavy track form, fine, so I imagine he's somewhere. So they'll probably fight it out. They'll be up on the speed, so it's going to make for an interesting clash, but you would expect Cradle Mountain, the 9, to get the money again.
Yeah, that will be a real test, won't it? 8 kilos between them, and if Glyn Schofield's able to eyeball Jason Collett and Cradle Mountain in the run, who will be the last horse standing, or will it set up for something to come from off them? Here's Brad Gray's suggested bets for Randwick. Race number 8. Your best there is Organza.
Yeah, she's a mare in the Godolphin yard that's come back in really good order this time. I pegged her last time. It's probably a good midweek standard horse, but she's really jumped out of the ground this time. It was a strong winner last start, beating Reflectivity. And we saw Reflectivity come out and win last Saturday, so nothing wrong with that form. The only caveat I will put on this is we don't want it too wet. So if it does happen to bucket down there at Randwick later in the day, which probably should be okay. The forecast says 5 to 10 mils, so fingers crossed. But we don't want it too wet. Otherwise, I think she'll just posse up outside the leader and take beating again. So she's the best of the day, race 8, number 15.
Also, other bets there, Military Zone, Charlene, Cradle Mountain that we've discussed, and also Doubt Defying. Brad Gray from Racing New South Wales, form analyst, thanks for your time, and also have a safe and happy Christmas, New Year period.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. Very kind words, and same to you and to your viewers.